Hello. One video here, it looks like I made a mistake when I was recording the earlier example, paused and forgot to re-record again for the creation of that velocity time graph. So I have a copy of the slideshow here, and I have my data from the earlier slideshow available for me to kind of go back and forth. Um, so um, the day two slideshow is here, and that has the velocity calculations that we have done for each step: stop 1 to 2, stop 2 to 3, stop 3 to 4. So those calculations are available. Excuse me. So the first velocity chunk that I have, going 15 meters per second, for the first 720 seconds. So when I go here, I'm going to insert a line, and I'm just going to try to draw a horizontal line on here, and then I'll move it around to start. So that's my horizontal line, and I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so it stands out. I'm going to go 4, and I'm going to change the color to make sure it stands out again. And I already forgot what velocity I said. 15 meters per second for the first 720 seconds. So 15, um, there's 14, 16. So that would be, up here would be like 15.6. So actually that's right in between here is where we would want to be. So I'm just going to say that is my 15. And then after that, oh, and I need to stretch it out to 720 seconds. So here is 600, here is 700, 8. So halfway in between these two would be 750. Um, so I'll get it closer, and then I'll have to take another look because I having trouble here. Let's see. That's 800. 750 is right in between. So we're probably talking about like right about there. Is pretty darn close to 740. 720, 740, 720. So maybe a smidge shorter than that. There we go. And then after that, we stop. So we're at a velocity of 0 for 100 seconds. And what I did when I was starting things out here, I made a horizontal line that's about 100 seconds wide. When I go down to this graph, uh, it's about that 100 seconds wide from here to here. And when we stop at 720, it should be 100 seconds of stop. So this is my velocity is 0 line. And now I'm going to take another line. I'm just going to take this one, copy paste, and I'm going to connect the dots from there to there. So this first line, come on, you can do it. There we go. This first line is going at 15 meters per second for the first 720 seconds. This line is changing the velocity from 15 meters per second down to 0. In reality, there would be a slope to it. It wouldn't be a straight vertical line. But for sometimes we simplify things to make things a little bit more doable for where we're at. And I think this is a thing that we can simplify a little bit and not lose too much physics here. And then there's this 100 seconds of stop. And now I need to figure out where my next velocity is. So I go back to my calculations, and this is stop 1 to stop 2. You can see hear my dog barking in the background. It sounds like a chicken. That's our cat. Yeah, neighbors outside. So anyway, for this next stop, our velocity is going to be 8.3 meters per second, and that's from 820 to 1060. So let's see, I'm going to try to get the 8.33, make sure I remember that. Um, and so I'm going to take a line here, copy, paste, and I need to get this down to about 8.33. So if the red line there is 720, or pardon me, 7.2, then this would be 8.4. So 8.3 would be just a smidge lower than that. Um, So 8.3, and we do that from 820 to I think it was 1060. I'll try to shorten that bugger up. So that's 1000. That's 1100. So 1060, whoop, like that. I'm going to double check, make sure I have those numbers right. 1060. And now I need to connect this 8.3 and this 0, like to change our speeds. Copy paste just to get myself another line. And I'm going to do that. Something kind of like that. Um, and that's kind of the process that we go for making these graphs. Um, then for me, since I made this first line over here, that's that 100 seconds long deal, I would copy and paste that and just slide that over to the next stop, and I would just keep on going, connecting, making these next lines until things go until I'm done with my stops. So there you go. That's the gist of making the graph, of actually like putting the lines on there. I go up here to draw a line, and then once I've drawn a line, I make that line that I've drawn have the right color and thickness, and then I'm just doing copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and moving them around. Um, the last thing, if you're really concerned about details, um, when I first started putzing with this, I wanted to make sure that these numbers, that these lines were like exactly where they are, because graphs are most useful when uh, well, maybe I should rephrase that. When graphs have numbers on their axes, that's one of the times where they're most useful, and what we want with those is to make sure that our numbers are exact. But I found that with these, it takes me a lot more time to get these things down and be just right and be exactly at my 0.833 or whatever the value is. And sometimes um, that extra time is worth it, and sometimes that extra time is just extra time. And I'm much more concerned with the overall shape of these graphs than I am with if you put this line at 8.3 or 8.2. So um, it should be close. It should be pretty darn close. It doesn't have to be spot on perfect. There you go. That's what I've got for you. Good luck.